Where are we this week? This is a place we had never even heard of before coming to this area, but we are so glad we didn't miss it. Full of history and natural beauty, we are excited to explore El Morro National Monument. El Morro is Spanish for the headland or the bluff, and it is not difficult to see how it got its name. This imposing rock formation is made of Zuni sandstone and is actually a cuesta, which is a ridge with a gentle slope on one side and a steep slope or drop on the other. This is an area that has drawn people in for hundreds of years, and evidence of those people can be found in every direction you look. Today we're at El Morro National Monument in New Mexico. We just checked in at the visitor center and they gave us this really nice guide, and so we are getting ready to go hike the Headland Trail and the Inscription Trail. We are starting our visit on the Inscription Rock Trail. This easy 3/4 of a mile trail takes us first past the pool, which has served as a reliable water source for the people of the region for as long as people have inhabited or traveled through the area. Interestingly, this pool is completely created from rainwater runoff and is over 12 feet deep when full. We found it surprising that a pool created only from rainwater would be reliable in such an arid climate. Up on the wall above the pool, there are some muddy nests made by cliff swallows. That's where they raise their young. The black stripes that ribbon down the cliff face are the spillways where water from the bluff's top funnels into the pool. Continuing past the pool is the Inscription Rock section of the trail, and wow, is it ever fascinating. There are over 2,000 inscriptions and petroglyphs along this rock face created over the centuries by Native Americans, Spanish colonists, and American settlers. Each of these groups of people chose to leave their mark in the rock as they were using El Morro as a landmark and enjoying the water provided by its pool. Petroglyph makers incised or pecked into the sandstone using an animal antler or a harder rock called a hammerstone. The Spaniards used daggers or horseshoe nails to inscribe their messages, and pioneers and other settlers along the trail of westward expansion probably used hammer and chisel, knives, nails, or other tools. We are amazed at the beauty of this inscription. Our penmanship isn't anywhere near this good just writing on paper. We can't imagine making a carving into a rock that turns out this perfectly. You may notice that some of the inscriptions are blue in color. This is because in the 1920s, many of them were darkened and deepened with hard pencils in an effort to preserve them. While these efforts were well-intentioned, they were also very intrusive, changing the look of the inscriptions. This practice was abandoned in the 1930s, and efforts at preservation today are much more subtle. This is believed to be the first European inscription left in the rock and is dated 1605.
All right, looks like we're going up.
Yep, I think we're gonna make it to the top. From the end of the Inscription Rock Trail, we start our trek up the Headland Trail. This 2-mile trail travels up a set of switchbacks to the top of El Morro. Check out this alligator juniper tree. It's pretty clear how it got its name. It is impossible to tell until you get to the top, but the cuesta is curved, creating a box canyon in the middle that the Native Americans used to corral livestock and trap wildlife. The views down into the box canyon, as well as the surrounding landscape, are phenomenal.
We've made it to the top, and what an amazing view.
We enjoy taking our time while at the top and love the expansive vistas we can see in all directions.
Found a pretty cool spot.
Yeah, this is awesome. Wish we'd brought our lunch. Earlier when we were looking at all the inscriptions carved into the rock, we were down at the bottom of this, but we just walked up and walked across the top. Also up here on the top is Atsinna, which means where pictures are on the rock. This community was occupied from roughly 1275 to 1400 by ancestors of today's Zuni people. 18 rooms were excavated in 1954, 1955, and 1961, but when it was occupied there were over 800 rooms, so it was a sizable town. While only a few rooms have been excavated, it is not difficult to look around and see how far the pueblo would have extended when inhabited.
Well, we're heading back down and back over to the visitor center. Might try and grab the park film and watch that. But it's been a really interesting place. I've really enjoyed looking around, checking out the Pueblo at the top of the rocks here, and seeing all the inscriptions along the way. Neat place.
We're almost back. If you plan to make your own visit to El Morro, a couple things to know. This is a really small park. There's only really 2 trails to hike, so you could easily do it in a half day, but it is kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It's about a 40-minute drive from the interstate.